Uh, Excuse me, young man. Please, please, could you take your take your seat? Stop chewing gum. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, friends and neighbors, to DocFest 2021. My name is Bruce. I'm better known as Magoo, and I am pleased to be your Master of Ceremonies here at DocFest 2021. Last year we had hoped that our musical friends would be back at work as usual this year. Unfortunately, not to be. Once again, it's a relief to be where live music will be heard and good friends can enjoy time together. I would say that in spades. Thank you very much for providing an opportunity. We respectfully acknowledge that we are on the treaty and traditional lands of the Michi, Sagig, and Anishinaabeg. We offer our gratitude to the First Peoples for their care for and teachings about our earth and our relations. May we honor these teachings. Many of you may know that I am the MC and the host of the Blue Skies Music Festival, something I've been doing for a number of decades. And we recently did it again this year virtually. There was no on-site festival. Many of the musicians who you will see over the next few days are people I've known for many years, and some I've had the pleasure to perform with. We really look forward to each and every one of them and their playing. And your playing, those of you who play out there, it makes a festival. It makes what we are and where we are. I speak to you from the Charles M. Smith Memorial Stage, hosting its second major event. Charlie, were he alive today, would be more than 100 years old. But knowing him as I did, I'm sure he'd say he's very glad to see you and even more glad to be seen concerning his namesake. Concerning his namesake, I'm very pleased to tell you that Charlie's great-grandson, Charlie Guitar, with 2 T's, is improving in the neonatal ICU at Sunnybrook Hospital. And we send all our best wishes out to Charlie. I also share the stage with Skip, the Skip Vetter Memorial Palm Tree. There it is, in all its blazing glory. Skip was a dear friend of the Canadian Merle Fest group, and the tree was always something we look forward to seeing each April in North Carolina. I had the pleasure of seeing it there a couple of times, and it really did bring on the vibe at the campsite. Last year, we paid tribute to COVID victims and the tragic events in Nova Scotia that occurred shortly before our festival. This year, we have also been stunned and saddened by the revelation that large numbers of Aboriginal children died in residential schools all across the country and lie in unmarked graves. Even after these several weeks, many Canadian flags continue to fly only at half-mast throughout the region and the entire nation. If I may say, I've had many people ask me when we talk about this kind of things, well, what can we do? Such a huge, overpowering situation and history. Well, in knowledge is truth, and in knowledge can find a way for reconciliation. So if I may be bold and suggest to you that if you Google and read the 94 calls to action that were published with the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's report in 2015, you'll get an idea and you'll become educated on just exactly where this situation is. And as I said, in knowledge, there is a way forward. And if you just did that one small thing, you would become much more informed on the situation, and I think you become a much wiser participant in making things going forward happen in a positive way. We ask you now to rise and remove your hats, and we'll join in a minute of silence to honor the memory of the precious children who were taken from their families and never returned. Thank you. We have high hopes for the live stream this year. So if you're watching at home, whether in Canada, North Carolina, or even in Nebraska, just Google Kawartha Food Share and consider clicking on the donation page. Every donation, big or small, really helps because due to their buying power and partnerships, Kawartha Food Share can turn every dollar you donate into $6 of food. Make sure you note that you are donating from Doc Fest. That'll ensure that the matching donations go to the Kawartha Food Share as well. Ashley Aitken from Kawartha Food Share will be with us shortly, but first, Dr. Kathleen Hughes will update us on event precautions. Here she comes.
Hi everybody, welcome. I've been assigned this really fun job again of telling you what you're not allowed to do. Welcome. I know we've learned a lot about COVID in the past year, about transmission, and we know now, which we didn't know last year, that it mostly is transmitted by sharing breathing air with other people for prolonged periods of time, so that's very reassuring for us at an outdoor event. So I believe the instructions are that, when we're around the drink serving area and the food serving area, that we will be masked if we can't be adequately distanced. And when it comes to sitting with the folks at your table, you can sort of discuss amongst yourselves what your level of comfort is. And we do have hand sanitizer, although we know that that is not the primary driver of new COVID infection. I also just don't want a cold. So I'd rather, continue my 18-month streak of not having a cold. So let's keep washing our hands. We have, there's a defibrillator somewhere that last year I was only allowed to sit beside the defibrillator. The defibrillator was my date, but I think I'm a little bit freer this year. So great to see everybody. If you have any questions about precautions, I'm happy to chat and happy to chat otherwise as well. See everybody soon.
Thank you, Kathleen. And now, Ashley Aitken from Kawartha Food Share.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me again this year. Whoa, sorry, am I too close?
No, you're not close
enough. Am I too tall? Testing. Here we go. Closer. Okay. Thank you so much for having me. It is a pleasure to be here again this year. Last year was so much fun, and I enjoyed talking to all of you. For those of you who don't know me or Kawartha Food Share, we are the central distribution warehouse here in Peterborough that distributes emergency food throughout the city and county. So we have 37 different member agencies that we distribute this food to. So that includes all of the city and county food banks. We usually feed about 9,000 clients a month at those. Obviously, the last year has been a little bit of a challenge, and we've seen upwards of 10 to 11,000 people a month at those food banks. We serve all of the city meal programs, so we serve a breakfast, lunch, and dinner that serve about 15,000 meals every single month. And then on top of that, we also supply food to all 51 area schools for their breakfast and nutrition programs. So through these programs, we feed about 17,000 kids each day, 250,000 meals a month. Obviously, the last year things have looked different. Schools were closed for longer periods of time, so we've made, additional community partnerships. We launched a children's drive-through food bank that fed about 10,000 kids. They could come every single week with their families and get the food that they're, missing from those school programs that would usually serve them about 2 meals a day. We partnered with PRHC and Public Health to distribute emergency food boxes to anyone in isolation, whether they had COVID or came in contact. And started this delivery service, which was, obviously much needed. And And so the year's been a little bit of a challenge. Typically, in an average year, we spend about $100,000 purchasing food, and the rest would come from donations at our grocery stores or from local events. That's about doubled. So, like Bruce said, every dollar that's donated, we can purchase up to about $6 worth of food through our group purchasing power. So last year, this event raised over $50,000, which allowed us to spend over $300,000 purchasing fresh, nutritious food items, fruits, vegetables, dairy, yogurt, our staple food items, so the things like pasta and pasta sauce, tuna, peanut butter, things that, folks that don't necessarily have a full kitchen can still consume. And so we're really thankful to be here again this year and are just so appreciative of your generosity. And to Jennifer and Dr. Hughes, they've been such amazing supporters of ours for years and years, and just to include us in this and such a fun event, but to be still giving back to the community at the same time is just awesome. So thank you. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much for your donations. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Ashley.